This clip went semi-viral last week. A data center, sweating, breathing, asking for more power. Okay, that part's fake. We made it. But here's the uncomfortable part. Almost everything it's afraid of is real. AI is now eating the electricity grid faster than we can build it. It's drinking millions of gallons of water a day. It just resurrected a nuclear plant. And the bill is landing on your kitchen table. Let's actually look at the numbers. By the end of this, you'll never look at that little thinking icon the same way again. Let's start with what a data center actually is. Picture a warehouse the size of a stadium, packed wall to wall with computers, tens of thousands of them, and they never ever turn off. Every AI model you talk to lives in a building like this. Thousands of chips running day and night. And those chips are hungry. A single one of the top AI chips can draw more power than your refrigerator. Now stack 100,000 of them in one building. That's one data center. And we're building hundreds. In 2025, US data centers pulled about 31 gigawatts of power. By 2026, 41. By 2027, 66 gigawatts. That's more than double in 2 years. To put that in human terms, data centers are on track to consume around 8.5% of all US peak power by 2027, up from 4%. And here's the line that actually matters. They're eating roughly 40% of all the new electricity America's adding. Not 40% of the grid, 40% of the growth. Almost half of every new power plant we build is, effectively, for artificial intelligence. And the plan to keep up? Just add more power. For 20 years, US electricity demand was basically flat. Then AI showed up. And the line that hadn't moved in a generation suddenly went vertical. By 2030, data center power demand is projected to climb 165%. We're bolting a second electricity-hungry country onto the grid, and we're doing it in about 3 years. And the AI companies aren't apologizing for it. Their pitch is simple. Whoever has the most computing power wins, so they're racing to build as fast as physically possible. And it isn't slowing down. Every few weeks, another company announces a new mega campus, measured not in servers, but in gigawatts. 1 gigawatt is roughly a large nuclear reactor's worth of power. Some single campuses are now being planned for 5 gigawatts or more. Here's the part nobody put on the brochure. All those chips run hot, and the cheapest way to cool them is water. A typical data center drinks about 300,000 gallons a day, as much as 1,000 homes. A big one? Up to 5 million gallons a day. A town of 50,000 people. And it's not just any water. To avoid corroding the equipment, many data centers use clean, treated drinking water, the same water that comes out of your tap, and most of it doesn't come back. Up to 85% of that water evaporates into the sky. Gone. In towns across Arizona, Texas, and Oregon, residents have started asking a hard question. Why is the tech campus next door using millions of gallons during a drought, while we're told to cut back? Stack them all together, and at peak, America's AI data centers could drink the entire daily water supply of New York City. Every single day. When one of these moves into a small town, it often becomes the single biggest water customer in the entire region. Overnight. To be fair, the tech giants know this looks bad. Microsoft says its newest closed-loop designs use about as much water a year as a single restaurant. Maybe, but that's the new ones. The fleet running right now is still thirsty. Google's water use alone jumped from 4 to over 6 billion gallons in just 3 years. And here's the thing about water. It's local. The cloud is not. So a model serving the entire world can quietly drain one specific town's reservoir. And unlike power, you can't just build more water. When it's gone from a region, it is gone. So who pays for all this power and water? Here's the magic trick. You do. Here's how it works. To connect a giant data center, the utility has to build new power lines, new substations, sometimes whole new plants. That costs billions. A homeowner in Virginia, the data center capital of the world, opened a power bill this January for $281. The month before, it was about $100. And who's on the hook for those grid upgrades? Not just the tech company. The cost gets spread across every ratepayer on the line, including you. Across the country, electricity prices rose almost 7% last year, and they're forecast to climb another 6% through 2027. Economists are blaming data center demand directly. The grid operator's own monitor admitted it. The cost of powering these data centers gets passed straight to households, and it hits lower-income families hardest because power is a bigger slice of their budget. So a trillion-dollar company moves in, plugs in, and your monthly bill quietly ticks up to help pay for the infrastructure it needed. But wait, you say, Shouldn't the trillion-dollar companies pay for their own power? Great question. The White House signed a deal saying exactly that. Advocates read the fine print and called it, quote, meaningless and unenforceable. There's no one actually checking. So for now, the tab is yours. Some states are starting to fight back, demanding that data centers pay special rates so the cost doesn't land on families. And the companies? They're lobbying hard against it. When you need this much power and the grid can't give it to you, you get creative. So Microsoft did something nobody's done in American history. It restarted a dead nuclear plant. 3 Mile Island. Yes, that 3 Mile Island. The site of the worst nuclear accident in U.S. history is being switched back on. Rebranded the Crane Clean Energy Center. 835 megawatts, and every single watt is reserved for Microsoft's AI. A 20-year deal. Online by 2028. And nuclear is just the headline. Behind it, these companies are signing deals for every kind of power they can find. Solar, wind, natural gas, geothermal, even fusion startups that don't have a working reactor yet. Amazon locked up almost 2 gigawatts of nuclear. Google is funding tiny modular reactors. Meta put out a call for 6.6 gigawatts and got a flood of bids. Think about how strange this is. The most cutting-edge companies on Earth are reaching back to 1950s technology because it's the only thing that can feed the machine around the clock. And when there isn't enough clean power, they burn gas. Some communities now have gas turbines humming next door just to keep the servers on. The AI boom didn't just strain the grid. It kicked off a nuclear renaissance, with private companies buying up reactors like power strips. And here's the irony. AI is sold as the technology that will help solve climate change. But right now, it's reopening fossil plants and straining every grid it touches. The whole bet rests on one hope, that AI gets efficient faster than it gets hungry. So far, hunger is winning. So here's where we are. We're rebuilding the entire American energy system. New plants, revived reactors, rising bills, drained reservoirs, all around one bet. That AI will be worth it. And here's the part that should make you uneasy. All of this assumes the demand is real and permanent, that every dollar of computing power we're building will actually be needed. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year are going into this, and maybe it pays off. But we've seen tech booms before. In the late 90s, companies laid so much internet cable that most of it sat dark for years. They called it the fiber glut. If AI demand even pauses, we could be left holding the most expensive overbuild in history. Power plants and reactors built for a boom and paid for on your bill. Either way, the concrete is already poured. The reactors are already being restarted. This decision is being made right now, mostly without us. There are already more than 3,000 data centers running in the U.S., with another 1,500 planned or under construction. This isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. So what does this actually mean for you? 3 things. Your electricity is going to cost more. Your water might too. And these decisions are being made right now. You don't have to be anti-AI to ask a fair question. Who benefits and who pays? Because right now, those are 2 very different groups of people. The data center in that fake leaked video asked for more power. That part wasn't really a joke. The real one is asking too. And so far, we keep saying yes. If this rewired how you see that little chat box, do me a favor and subscribe. Every week, I break down what AI is really doing to your money, your job, and your future before everyone else sees it coming. Next week, where all this AI money actually goes. I'll see you then.